Brought to you by Thomas Allgaier and Frennis, this edition highlights key LinkedIn posts on social selling in weeks 51 to 2. Frennis supports enterprises with enablement and insights, providing data-driven sales intelligence, flexible support, team augmentation, and data quality improvements so social engagement turns into measurable pipeline. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've just come through the turn of the year, that quiet period across weeks 51 and 2.
Right, when everyone finally has a moment to think.
Exactly, and that's when a lot of strategic thinking happens. We've looked at hundreds of posts from that time, and there's one really dominant theme. Social selling, it's not a side hustle anymore. It's the new operating system for predictable B2B revenue.
That's a perfect way to put it. And, our mission today is really to give you the ultimate shortcut on this. We're trying to move beyond just tracking activity, like posts and comments, and into real measurable impact.
So we're talking strategy.
Total strategy. We're going to cover this huge shift from, say, relying on the corporate brand to investing in human visibility. Everything from employee advocacy to, the nitty-gritty of outreach execution.
Okay, let's start with what was, by far the loudest message on LinkedIn. The rise of employee advocacy, EA. It really feels like it's being positioned as the new primary B2B distribution channel. The consensus from people like Matthew Henry and Angelina Tagos is that LinkedIn is now prioritizing people over logos.
It is. Relying on your company page is it's a fast track to being ignored.
And this isn't just a feeling, right? There's data behind this.
Oh, the data is overwhelming. We saw Ibrahim K. citing figures that employee content gets up to 8 times more engagement than the exact same post from a brand's official page.
8 times.
8 times. And Lee Densmer put that number even higher at a staggering 561% more engagement.
That kind of lift, that has to change how a CMO thinks about their entire distribution strategy.
It has to. Yeah, and translates directly to ROI. There was this fantastic case study from Anna Bertoldini. She showed that consistent employee advocacy generated over $70,000 in earned media value, EMV.
In 1 year. So earned media value? That's basically the dollar value of the organic exposure you got for free, right?
Exactly. 70 grand of pure momentum without a single dollar spent on ads. When you can do that with your existing team, you completely change your cost of acquisition.
And that momentum seems to be strongest right at the top with executives.
Absolutely. The power of executive presence. Jody Leon shared this amazing data point. Their CEO's personal posts outperformed their paid ad campaign.
Even with fewer followers.
Even with 50% fewer followers than the company page. It just speaks to the human element. Raphael Swartz pointed out that trust is shifting. We trust individuals more than we trust institutions now.
A CEO's post just feels more authentic. It humanizes the whole brand.
Right. And it scales. Now Ratcliffe got over 17 million views by convincing 70% of his team to just start posting. That's a massive distribution network right there.
But there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, I imagine.
A huge distinction. Matthew Henry was very clear that the old way, just asking employees to like and share corporate posts or use some copy-paste template, that's dead.
The algorithm sees right through it.
The algorithm, the audience, everyone. Robert Katai actually listed why most of these programs fail. It's fear of losing control, treating people like billboards, or just failing to invest in their growth.
If you treat people like robots, you get robotic results. Makes sense.
Which brings us to incentives. And Yvonne Boateng made a great point. Ditch the cash. Cash incentives just lead to low quality, I have to do this kinds of posts.
So what's the alternative?
Frame it as career growth. Offer real training, give them recognition, help them build their own professional brand that benefits them, not just the company. That's the alignment.
That's the sustainable model, yeah.
And we even saw some fun ideas for recognition. Javier Sanabria mentioned creating custom bobbleheads of executives.
Bobbleheads? You're kidding.
Not at all. A custom bobblehead of their CEO in a Notre Dame jersey. They gave them to employees who drove consistent, high-quality engagement.
I love that. It's tangible, it's cultural, it's not just a transaction. I do wonder if that works everywhere, though.
Well, the principle does. Find something personal that fits your culture.
Agreed. Okay, so let's move from the company view to the individual. If people are stepping forward, that means personal branding is no longer a nice-to-have, it's a strategic asset.
It's mandatory. Victoria Justiskil said strategic visibility isn't an accident, it's built. And Melissa Glick, she hit on a great point about the future. In this age of AI slop.
I like that. AI slop.
Right. All that generic content. The founders who are willing to show up as, imperfect humans will just crush the polished corporate brands.
Authenticity is the great differentiator.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's easy.
Not at all. Beatrice Fladut was really firm on this. A personal brand is a digital asset. It's an investment that takes 6 to 12 months of consistent work, no overnight hacks.
And AI is not going to be that hack.
Definitely not. For anyone ready to start, Victoria's Jusko advised asking yourself 7 key questions, focusing on your objectives of visibility, trust, growth, and defining your keywords. What do you want to be known for?
It's about being intentional. Sam G. Winsbury had a great filter for this. Focus on high authority, low-ish effort activities.
Like what?
Things like podcast appearances, writing deep dive case studies, or creating really focused, opinionated LinkedIn content. Things that build credibility fast.
So once you're active, your profile becomes everything. It's your landing page. Mitchell Collins and Shoaib Ahmed both said profile optimization is key to converting that traffic into actual clients.
And they gave a really clear formula. Optimize your headline, I help X do Y through Z. And for the About section, use the PAS framework.
The classic. Pain agitates solution.
Exactly. It's a copywriting staple for a reason. You state the pain, you agitate it a bit to show you get the stakes, and then you position yourself as the solution.
And Shoaib Ahmed's reminder is perfect. Your profile has to answer 3 questions in 10 seconds. What do you do? Who for, and why you?
10 seconds or they're gone.
It's ruthless.
Okay, let's shift from the branding philosophy to the actual system. This is where you go from random wins to predictable results. Jan Van Muscher said most teams treat social selling like a lottery.
Yeah, just post some things, bring some DMs, and hope for the best. It's not a system.
And Chris Taylor was so blunt about it. He said, don't confuse activity posting, commenting with actual progress.
Yeah.
If it's not leading to a measurable outcome, you're just spinning your wheels.
So what does a real system look like? Jan Van Muscher broke it down into 4 layers.
What's layer 1?
Foundational. Build authority through consistent, valuable content. You can't skip it. Layer 2 is priority-based targeting. You focus on high-intent leads first. For example, people who view your profile have a 12 times higher response rate. They should be your top priority.
So you're engaging based on their behavior. I like that.
Exactly. Then layer 3 is personalized outreach, genuinely personalized. And finally, layer 4 is consistent follow-up that always adds value. No more just checking in.
Let's drill down on that outreach execution piece. The details matter so much. Christian Kraus, who sent 25 DMs every day in 2025.
Wow, that's commitment.
It is. He confirmed that video DMs get the absolute highest response rates, period.
Video just cuts through the noise. It has that human energy signature we were talking about.
Yeah.
Samantha McKenna also gave a masterclass on this, the whole show me, you know me effort.
Right. She talked about monitoring industry blogs to find an insight that won a nearly 6-figure deal.
That's the work. And she had a great tip on language, too. When reaching out to a CXO, don't ask for 15 minutes. Ask if they're up for a quick chat about something super specific. It feels like less of a commitment.
That's smart. And Stacey Wong reminds us not to forget our existing network. Warm intros from your first-degree connections convert 5 to 10 times higher than cold outreach.
Start with who you know, but even when you connect, there are rules. Leslie Bennett said it perfectly. A connection acceptance is not an invitation to pitch.
You haven't earned that right yet.
Not at all. And then Sarah Catlett listed all the big don'ts, the instant pitch, the just checking in, the long DM essay. They all get deleted.
So what's the alternative?
Jasmine Allergies calls it permission-based selling. Ask for permission first. Get that initial yes before you launch into your value prop.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's talk about the content itself. The big shift is from volume to high signal value. Antonia Bates said, content fails if it explains a solution beautifully but misses the specific thing the buyer is worried about right now.
It has to feel like you're reading their mind. And with AI about to flood everything, Beatrice Fladut says the bar for quality is getting way higher.
She had 4 requirements for winning content, right?
Yeah. Yep. First, it has to have signal. The unique insight AI can't just generate. Second, depth and context. Third, it has to be relatable, not just impressive. And fourth, it needs the author's unique energy signature.
That human element again. It's everything. Ashita Verma drove that home. Storytelling isn't optional anymore. Facts inform, but they don't convert. Stories do.
And Aurelian Scagliari is predicting videos coming back, but not the slick, quick TikTok-style cuts. He thinks LinkedIn will favor more authentic, unpolished, slightly longer videos that actually start a conversation.
Okay, so we've got the people, the process, the content. The last piece is the platform itself, the algorithm. What's it rewarding now?
Jesse Chan predicts a big shift away from simple likes and towards dwell time.
How long people are actually spending on your post?
On the post and, crucially, in the comments. The quality of the conversation in the comments is becoming like a second feed. It's all about fostering real discussion.
That's a good thing for B2B. It rewards depth. And what about the role of AI in all this?
Well, Luke Willett and Lara Costa both said the same thing. AI is a great thinking partner, an amazing tool for ideas or drafting. But it is not a replacement for human insight.
The winners will be the people who write using AI, not the ones who let AI write for them.
Exactly. You lose that energy signature otherwise. And all this focus on process is creating a need for accountability. Michael Kursan highlighted how tools like First Touch are now enabling native LinkedIn orchestration right inside HubSpot.
That's a game changer.
It's huge. It means you can finally track social selling actions and attribute them directly in your CRM. It kills the black box of social selling.
Finally, we can prove the ROI. So, big picture, the ultimate takeaway from Taz Burways and Noam Nissan seems to be focus on your story.
Yes. The platform is rented land. Algorithms will change, features will change, but your consistent brand narrative, your reputation, that's what lasts.
And Noam Nissan had a pretty urgent warning on that note.
A very timely warning. He said the window for easy organic growth is closing fast. The time to build your authority and grab your foothold is, well, it's right now.
If you enjoyed this episode, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also check out our other editions on account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, MarTech, go-to-market, and AI in B2B marketing.
You know, if there's one single thread that connects all of this, it's that as automation gets easier, the human connection becomes the only real differentiator. I think Carson V. Hetty said it best. You can't out-certify AI, but you can definitely out-human it. Judgment, connection, that's the new currency.
So the question for you is, will you invest in those human skills? The listening, the judgment, the intentional connection that, as Morgan J. Ingram and Carson V. Hetty encourage, no algorithm can replicate. Thank you for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.